Hey, what's up everybody? Adobe Masters here, and today I'm going to be showing you an effect that I came up with that I really think is kind of neat. A lot of times I just explore Premiere trying to come up with some fun effects, and this is one that I created. So what we have here is what I like to call a color wheel transition. So you can see right there we have these colors come in, and then they kind of spin through, and then we're into the next scene. And you can create any colors you want here. For example, if we went up here, we could change this effect so that it's maybe like some team colors right here. And so now we have like this red and white sort of thing coming through here and just spinning around and changing it. And you can have a lot of fun with this, and I don't know, I think it's a really fun effect, so I'm going to show you guys how I created it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go up to File, New, and then Sequence. Going to go ahead and just create a sequence right like so. The next thing we need to do is we need to grab our footage and drag it in, both pieces, the one that we want to start with and the one that we want to transition to. And then we need to find a good cut point, so maybe like right here, doesn't really matter. And we're going to move this one to here. And let's go ahead and unlink that audio so we don't have to listen to that while we're doing this. And so now we have this basic transition right like so. And so let's make this transition interesting. Let's make it look better. And so to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to jump down here. We're going to go to Effects, and let's go with the 4-color gradient. That is how I created it in the other scene, so that's what we're going to use here. Now you'll notice something. I cannot just drag this onto here because it's going to overwrite all of the effects. It's going to overwrite all the data here. We can't even lower the opacity or anything. It just disappears. So what we need to do is we need to create like a pseudo layer that we can put this onto. And so to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the project. We're going to go down to this button, or you can go up to File, not Open Project, File, and then New, and then you can go to Black Video right here. Or, like I said, down here, you can create the black video. We're going to click OK on that, and it's going to put one in here. That's, oh, wait, cancel that. Right here, and you can see that the other one that I used in the example is right up here. And so we're going to use this second one. You can rename it if you would like to something that maybe fits a little bit closer, so like Sequence to transition here, so we know which black video is which. So let's grab this in here, and now let's put it over our points, our transition point like so. And let's make it a little larger because we don't know how long the transition is going to be just yet. And so now the next thing we need to do is we need to go back into our effects and grab that 4-color gradient like so. And we're going to drop it in here, and you see that it gets these 4 colors in here: the green, the sort of magenta, the blue, and the yellow. And so these are going to be our basic colors. We'll work with these and we'll change them near the end. So the next thing we need to do is we need to bring our cursor to right where these two transition. So right here, right where they cut. And this is going to be the center of our transition. So now I'm going to move 15 frames to the left and start our transition. And to do that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the Shift and go 1, 2, 3. That'll move 5 frames at a time, so that I'll only have to do it 3 times, but you can just click this 15 times if you want. And once I'm back here, I'm going to go click on the transition, the black video right here, go up to the Effect Controls, go down to Opacity, hit the Toggle Animation, and start it off at 0. Now let's go ahead and return back to our cut point, the right in the center here. We're going to drag this up to 100, and then go 15 frames forward, and drag this back down to 0. And now all we have here is just this little transition where the opacity comes up and it transitions over like so. Nothing too interesting here. I mean, if this is a very basic transition and it looks kind of neat, but we want to make this a really, really fun transition. So let's make sure we have our black video still selected. Make sure we can still see the 4-color gradient. Go down to the opacity and let's jump to the first keyframe here, right where we started our animation. Now let's go ahead and toggle the animation for all 4 points right here. And so you want to do the points, not the colors, because the points are what we're going to change. And then let's jump to the middle one. And this is where we're going to have the sort of the spin happen. And so we got to think about this. If we want ours to spin in and then out, we have to create this sort of arc on each one of them. So yellow is going to come down and then top right. Green is going to come to the left and then bottom right. Yellow or blue is going to go top, bottom left. Magenta is going to go right, top left. And so all we're doing is we're creating this U with each one of these. And so this U is going to be how we're going to create that sort of spin effect in the center and make it look really neat. So what we need to do is we need to click on one of these points so we can see the point. And we're going to go ahead and just create that right now. We're going to drag this down to maybe right about here. Drag this one up to the top so we have the top and bottom sort of created. Drag this one over to the left, or the right, my bad. and then drag this one over to the left. And we're going to go ahead and go and drop this blend over here down. You can see if it's blended, it just makes it sort of all gray and dull. So what we want is we want almost no blend, so that these are really, really sort of strong points that we get to see here. And so now we have them all set in their original sort of stances, so they're going to go. Now you can see that this effect comes in, they all come together, and then they just stop, and then it fades out. So again, this is sort of a neat effect. It's a neat one, but what we want to do is we want to make this really fluid. We want to continue that motion all the way around and really just make this a neat sort of shutter spin that transitions into a new scene. So to do that, we're going to click on this again. Let's go ahead and jump to the last keyframe now and click on this, and you'll see that they're all locked into place. And what we want to do is we want to take them and bring them back to where we said they should end. So we said that the one on the right is going to go curve itself up to the top. You kind of got to think about this for a second. The one on our bottom was going to go down and then to the top right. So that's going to go up to here. We're just finishing off the U's. The one at the top here is going to come in and go to the bottom left. And then the one on the left over here was from here. So it's going to curve to the bottom right. And this was just kind of what we created at the beginning so that we can have this sort of flow to it. And now you'll see that if I did it right, I could have done it wrong, but I did do it right. Okay, you can see that it's a very smooth transition. So you can see now the motion that I was describing. They all come in and they create this U. But since they're all doing it at the exact same time, it creates this neat little effect. It makes it look really fluid, like they're all sort of doing the exact same thing. So like just watch the top right one. It comes in, goes to the left side, and this is the center. And then it curves back down to the right side, bottom right side. So it's making that U. And this one's making a U. This one's making its U. And they all do that at the exact same time. And that's what creates this neat sort of swivel in the center there. And then right when the opacity reaches 100, our frame changes. And now on the reverse effect, it's suddenly a new clip. And that is how we create the basics of the animation for this transition right here. And now we can have some fun with the coloring. So let's just think of a color pattern here. Red, white, and blue is kind of neat. You could do like Christmas colors. Let's see how that looks. Let's go red and greens here. So let's get to the center so we can see all of our bulbs here. And we want them to be sort of opposite one another. So let's make that one red. No, those are too close. So let's make that one green. Christmas is usually a darker green, but that'll work. And let's go red here. Nope, we want to make that one green as well. They're all sort of all over the place, so I'm not exactly sure where they are all right now, which point is which. So I'm just experimenting and finding the colors. And now we got that red up there, and it kind of creates this weird color here, but let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that could work for like a Christmas transition. That looks very sort of Christmassy. And there are even like lights, which sort of fits really well as well. And so yeah, you can use any color combinations you want with this and just create this neat little spinning effect. And it's just sort of an unexpected, fun way to transition between two different pieces of footage. That is the effect. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below or on our website over at adobemasters.net. If you want to see more videos similar to this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I make a video every other day on Adobe-related products, focusing mainly on Premiere Pro and After Effects, but jumping off into others every once in a while. Thanks everyone for joining me, and until next time, see ya.